Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit that subscribe button if you're new so you don't miss any of our great football content this season. All right, before we dive into this week's breakdown, I watched a lot of football this weekend. I get hungry. And let's face it, watching football is better when you get to eat and drink. And that's just the truth. So luckily, on Uber Eats, you can score a free turkey provolone sub, which I have right here, from Jersey Mike's when you spend $15 at Jersey Mike's all season long. There you go, foot long. This is my dinner. And I can assure you, when I'm done reading the spot, I'm going to eat it. It's an absolute beauty from Jersey Mike's. My favorite sub place, has been forever. So you don't have to leave the house. And I used Uber Eats. This will be the second time today I used Uber Eats. I used it about 6 hours ago to get some Greek food. So it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to eat during the football season, order Jersey Mike's on Uber Eats. Satisfy that football craving. Terms apply. See the app for details. Bon appetit. Uber Eats. All right, John Middlekauff and I, we got a lot to talk about. We may slip in some Oregon, Penn State, and Ryder Cup in about an hour. Yeah. Let's start with the big game of the day. Let's break down 6 or 7 big games. Chiefs 37, Ravens 20. They tacked on a late touchdown. Lamar's now 1-6 against Kansas City. They had a lot of defensive injuries, but that's not the story. The story is Lamar. I mean, to me, John, Kansas City is in his head. Obviously, when you're missing 6 defensive starters, I mean, Mahomes, 4 drives, 4 scores to start, like 4 touchdown passes. He broke the all-time record, fastest quarterback to 250 touchdowns, which we all knew he was going to do. So the defense, it doesn't help. But I feel that Kansas City is in Lamar's head. Do you?
Definitely. I mean, the Steelers have been over the years, and now Kansas City, it's undebatable. I also think this, and listen, he's a fantastic player. He's an incredible talent. But these last 2 weeks, he's led a pretty – you talk a lot about privileged lives at quarterback on offense. Like, the real sport starts when your tight end shatters his leg, your right guard gets a DUI, he gets suspended, and then a wide receiver goes down in the first series of the game. It's like, then what do you do? And we've seen Mahomes now for 2 years. But I'd say also, look at Josh Allen. His defense has been average at best over the years. Lamar, I would imagine his worst defense was last year. And by the end of the year, it was really good. But 2 years ago, they had the #1 defense in the league. Most of his career, because of the team he got drafted by, right? It's basically like defense U in football, the Baltimore Ravens. Right. Well, what's going on right now? Bunch of injuries. Their 2 best defensive linemen, Van Noy's kind of a hybrid, gone. Yeah. Roquan gets hurt today. I mean, their defense is just a shell of itself. It's like, okay. And listen, the Ravens, how many times did they win games? I bet if we looked over the last 3 or 4 years, like 45-13. So they roll you when they get up. But it's like, okay, you got to have to win this game. The Lions are used to that. 35-32. Let's go. The Ravens, that's just, he doesn't have to do that a lot over the years.
That's right.
And all of a sudden he's looking, it's like, you're back on the field. They just scored another point. It's a different, they don't feel like the purple team we're used to watching, because defensively, and that has to throw him off, and it puts more pressure on them, and they've kind of cracked, I would say, the last couple weeks.
Well, yeah, you had 2 first-half turnovers. I mean, they got themselves into a hole. And let me throw this at you. I've always said the reason he dominates the NFC, and his number, it's like 25-2. Yeah, they don't see him. Spags has now seen him 7 times. So, and my take on Lamar, remember the first year he started playing? I think he beat the Chargers the first time he played him, that first rookie year. Then in the second time he played the Chargers, in the playoffs, if I recall, they had a little bit better beat on him. And it's all fuzzy to me, but I was told very early on, you do get a little bit of a beat on him. He's just so dynamic, you can't get your arms around him. Well, Spags has seen him now so many times. It's a very good and very healthy and a fast defense. And then all of a sudden you jump out to a lead. And I mean, I think some of this is not that there's a secret sauce, but Spags is great. His defense is great. And they kind of mostly contained him tonight.
Well, because the last 2 weeks, Dan Campbell set the blueprint. and you went, well, Spags, who already had a blueprint, is going to utilize that throughout the week of basically corralling him. Now, again, he might juke you out and make a move every once in a while, but if you don't just run up aimlessly and let him just get an easy 10 yards with his eyes closed, it's harder for him to operate. And remember, for a long time, Dak's team now stinks, but it was like when he got to pass the ball less than they ran it, he was really, really effective. Lamar had that stat going forever. When the Ravens have more rushing attempts than pass attempts, they're going to be really dangerous. Why is that? They're up in the second half, handing the ball off, and they just kind of roll you. They lean on you. Well, today, 17 rush attempts, 20 pass attempts. Like that is not their formula, the way they're playing. And obviously, the turnovers. I mean, when he's turning the ball over now, we have, and he's not the only culprit. Derrick Henry's been a major problem for him this year. They're out of sync, and they have these injuries. Like the Chiefs, you could tell it's like, okay, they beat the Giants, they win this game, they get right back into the mix. I'm sure we'll talk about the Chargers. They got a million injuries right now.
Yeah,
like it's open again for the Chiefs. You look at the Ravens and you go, could this kind of be their year from hell, like the 49ers last year, where you just lose a million players and all of a sudden you're 7-10?
Yeah, and to your point, I joke with J-Mac all week. I'm like, people don't understand. It's not like Xavier Worthy's a 1, but when you don't have a 1, 2, or a 3, he's a damn good 2. So he had a ton of targets, nice catches, he was wide open on a couple of them. Yeah. So to me, when you watch Xavier Worthy, they still don't have a run game. Pacheco, Hunt, that's not going to work, big picture. But not every team that gets to the playoffs is Philadelphia. Not everybody's a great run team. What the run team does, it picks up first downs, and it helps your defense. So I think they're going to have to establish that. But when I watched them today, with Thornton, Juju Smith, Xavier Worthy, my take was, and I'm not sure if yours was, well, if they get Rashee Rice back, okay, now Thornton, now Worthy, now Rice, Juju Smith, Travis Kelce. Okay, that's more than good enough with Patrick Mahomes if they can just be average running the ball. But Worthy today, it was pretty clear that he has a relationship with Mahomes, and it's pretty good.
Well, one thing I wrote down is, Tyquan Thornton was once a second-round pick. Now it was a late second-round pick by the Patriots, but he has a touchdown in each of the last 3 weeks. So you get Worthy back. You get this guy who can fly, get him some confidence. You get Rice back. Hollywood Brown is just a solid contributing member. Like he can get 5-6 catches every game. Juju can just do some dirty work over the middle of the field. Their passing game looks a little bit better, big picture. This is why they win at A. They're 2-2. You look at the rest of the AFC, some of the injuries. They're in their own division, the Chargers. I mean, you can't just start overcoming missing elite players, especially at the offensive line. You go, God, I like their offense. Now, again, we talked about this last week with the Bears. I just said, let's pump the brakes on against the Cowboys defense. You saw today. I was like, the Bears offense is going to be up and down. And I will say the same thing with this Chiefs against this Baltimore defense, which have major issues. But they also have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and one of the greatest coaches of all time who coaches the offense. So I would be bullish on the unit moving forward for sure from an explosive standpoint. And you add Worthy to go with Thornton's speed, you can just stretch the field, and those possession receivers in Brown and Juju and even Travis, who clearly gets up for bigger games.
Yep, clearly.
Can add. And you just keep him healthy toward, a playoff game.
I mean, everybody's got a hole outside of Philadelphia. So their defense is good. They have the best head coach coordinator combo in the league. Once they get Rice back, more than adequate, probably above average receiving core, superstar head coach, quarterback. I thought the O-line was good. Andy Reid has rebuilt it 3 times since Mahomes arrived. Like, if they've been patchworking it, they lose Tooney. It's going to take a while. They don't have a great run game. I'm not even sure how serviceable it will be. But as I watched them today, I'm like, okay, they're a game back of the Chargers. And the Chargers now, I mean, I don't know what's happening with Joe Alt, but you're not winning a division if you don't have Joe Alt or Rashawn Slater. Not even Harbaugh can pull that rabbit out. So, I mean, I looked at them today, and maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I said it all week. I said Worthy will get 10 targets, 6-7 catches, and then Travis Kelce, and it's just like anything else. When you've been in any industry 15 years, you and I, our Sunday pod feels different than one in May. Right? Like it's like Travis Kelce's been around multiple surgeries. I watch him in these spots and I'm like, okay, it's different. He's fine. I don't know. I came out of it. And again, the injuries are part of it, but I have defended Lamar forever, but he had 2 turnovers. It's pretty clear. There's an anxiety that I don't know if it's a therapy thing. He just, say what you want about Josh Allen. He's been highly effective against Belichick, against the Chiefs. Josh Allen loses, it's usually on the defense. I think it's totally in Lamar's head.
Well, I mean, if you gave the Chiefs, Andy and Spags, the opportunity, who would you rather play at quarterback? They wouldn't even hesitate and say Lamar. The data's
Right.
in. Check Josh's data versus them in the regular season and in the playoffs. He has been excellent against Kansas City. But, yeah, I mean, I think Kansas City has to be – I thought the whole time – I know his numbers haven't looked good, but watching Patrick Mahomes last week in the second half, early in the season, a couple of the losses, the one against Philadelphia, I think he's played really well.
Same
he's
here.
Just completely under control. I bet if you sitting in Andy's office tomorrow, he's like, I was not worried at all over the losses with how our quarterback. I felt good. I thought it was on the other guys. So I actually think, Patrick has been a little up and down in previous years.
Yeah.
Remember, he had awful interception streaks. I think for the most part, he's been playing at a really, really high level. His numbers just don't look like 50 touchdowns anymore. But I just go, that's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, the numbers don't reflect his quality of play. I thought he had 2 throws today and a scramble. The one where he ran over the line and came back didn't count, but it was really a clever play to set up time. I also thought he had a sidearm throw to Juju Smith-Schuster. It was so quick and so fast with such velocity, and I'm like, nobody else can do that. Stafford does it. It doesn't look like that. So I'm with you. I think Kansas City now is, again, a top 6 team, and maybe 5.